What's up guys, Tenacious here, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. So as we all know, Bethesda's just dropped the latest update, including the new Invaders from Beyond event. But with this came some quite significant patch notes, some of which especially significant to the PvP community. So we're going to take a look at some of those in more detail, what was fixed, what wasn't, and also, I want to bring something very important to the attention of the PvP community in regards to particular PvP magazines which are currently broken as of yesterday's update. So without further ado, let's go. So first things first guys, I feel like this should be the most important starting point for the video. Yesterday I was addressed through one of the PvP Facebook groups that Unstoppables 3, which grants a 30% chance to avoid explosive damage or energy damage, always get them mixed up, and Unstoppables 5, which grants a 30% chance to avoid either energy or explosive damage, that these are broken. And upon testing this myself, I can confirm that they are absolutely broken. So under no circumstances should you use these magazines right now. So basically, instead of working as intended, they're actually making you take a crazy amount of more damage. Upon my test, I engaged with my alt and was using a BE laser that was hitting for like 10s, but his health was barely moving. However, as I popped one of those magazines, I melted him in 2 shots. I even wiped the mag with 11 love to try again, and back to the original result, barely taking any damage. Tried the other Unstoppables mag, and again, melted in 2 shots. So I don't know what the hell's going on here, but yeah, by all means, stay away from these magazines. You will be glad to know, while I was at it, I did test some of the other popular PvP mags like Tesla 2, Covert Ops 3 and 4, and they all seem to be working as normal. But yeah, until this is fixed, stay away from the Unstoppables at all costs. So moving on, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Obviously, one of the biggest fixes we were all looking forward to this time around was the buff to all the energy weapons. As soon as the update dropped, I was straight into custom worlds with a mate to test some PvP using pretty much everything. Lasers, plasmas, Teslas, flamers, cryos, you name it. But let's take a look at the patch note. Elemental resistances. Adjusted the calculation for energy and elemental damage to be in line with physical damage calculation. As a result, energy and elemental damage have been increased overall. So basically what this means is that all non-ballistic damage, including laser, plasma, cryo and flamer, etc., has never done the correct amount of damage against armour resistances, and upon this correction, these weapon types would do more damage, as intended. Well, I can tell you right away that this is absolute bollocks. No change whatsoever. Lasers are still dog water, Teslas are still even more dog water, plasmas still won't kill anyone on your PvP level, cryos still just freeze your willy off, and flamers you can tank all day with sizzling style. So where's the fucking changes, Bethesda? What are these shambolic patch notes, my guys? But it's not all doom and gloom. Let's take a look at the other important notes. Exploit. Addressed an exploit that allowed players to activate multiple aid items simultaneously. Now, not a lot is known about this one. After a few conversations, the biggest assumption seems to be that this was meant for quantum spamming, or aid items of that nature. But I can also confirm that there is no clear change to this based on the PvP testing I mentioned a minute ago. Everything still works as normal. Exploit 2. Addressed an exploit that allowed players to repeatedly and rapidly stack aid item buffs. Now this was the biggest thing. This was the Ethernet stack. So hallelujah, this has been fixed. Now, this is half the battle against the stackers finally put to bed. So thank you Bethesda for not fucking everything up. For anyone watching this that doesn't fully understand what the Ethernet stack was all about, allow me to explain. So the Xbox allowed you to remove your Ethernet cord, which gave you a few second window to spam anything you wanted from your Pip-Boy before reinserting your cord to stack everything that had just been spammed in that window. This could be anything from food to bobbleheads to rack up your stats or damaging your weapons, and then of course you could do this with your power armor pieces to enter a god mode state where you couldn't be killed. And this is exactly what's been killing the PvP scene for a long time. But on the other hand, this could also be used for PvE purposes as well. And I will admit, I have dabbled with it to stack unyielding armor to max stats and XP buffs like Tasty Squirrel Stew to help level up quicker, but never ever have I used this to my advantage in PvP. In fact, as most of you will know, I completely avoided the PvP scene, like for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks or whatever, for this very reason. But with all this being said, I have tested this also, and I can confirm 100% that this has been fixed, as you'll see from the background footage. I spammed maybe 20 odd baubles, and the damage of my weapons remained the same as per one single bauble. Also, my buddy tried stacking grilled radstag for carry weight, as he's been doing this for a while because his inventory management sucks and was constantly overweight, and he couldn't get that to stack either, so that confirms it. So at the very least, thank you Bethesda for fixing this one. However, when I mentioned a minute ago that this is only half the battle, people can still stack their power armor, as far as I'm aware, using a completely different known method. How this would work is if you have multiple identical duplicated sets of power armor in your inventory. While inside one, you can equip the other sets on top to stack all your stats and resistances. This is something I've never tried personally, and quite frankly I don't want to know about it. So there will still be people out there doing this for now until this is addressed, but to anyone still doing this, well, you're trash. Probably always have been, and probably always will be. And exploit number 3. Addressed an exploit that allowed players to significantly increase a weapon's magazine size. Well, this is none other than the ammo mag glitch, where you could infinite clip your weapons or at least massively increase them. Although this has never been anything too game breaking, it still pisses a lot of people off in PvP and in PvE. Personally, I'm none too bothered, it is what it is. In PvP, it allows us to be able to use a slightly wider array of weaponry, including lasers and cryos mainly, that generally only hold 21 and 25 rounds, which is absolutely nothing compared to a flamer that holds 200, or a plasma that holds 250 to 350 rounds. So to me that does feel kinda balanced. But on the other hand, I can understand the frustration from a PvE perspective as well, when it comes to players with mag glitched OP dragons or railways that absolutely melt the bosses in seconds before anyone can get a hit in. That can be rather disheartening. But with this, I can fully confirm also that it's not been fixed yet again, as you'll see me glitching out my cryo in the background here. So I think this is maybe what, the third time this is supposed to have been patched? I don't know, I've lost count. Nonetheless, this is still going. And finally guys, the last PvP related topic I want to address is the changes to high risk, which is actually due to come around any time now. High risk. Perk card effects, legendary perk card effects and VATs have been disabled to provide an even riskier experience to thrill seekers. Now, this is quite major. I know most people were completely not arsed by this game mode, but me personally, I loved it. And I know a small few others that loved it as well. It was actually so much fun. The only thing that killed it for me was the lack of activity it got. It's something different, and it actually feels like the old survival mode in a way. But ultimately we can look at this change in two lights. You can either be miffed off at the fact you won't be able to use your build, be a snowflake and ditch it, or you can embrace this change and appreciate that everyone is now on an even playing field. This purely will be down to PvP skill. Don't know about you guys, but I'll still be playing it. It's free crafting, you can build up your inventory any way you want. You know, I might even drop a high risk tips and tricks vids later on, to try and encourage you all to try it out and see how fun it can actually be. But we'll see what happens when that comes around again. But anyway guys, that pretty much covers it for today's video. Let me know in the comments your thoughts, feelings and aggravations, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if this video was informative. You can click up the top left right now to sub, and here's a random video to check out on the top right that's tuned to your preference. As always, thanks for watching, have fun, stay safe, I'm Tenacious, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.